And here's our first question. ABC Company purchased two identical inventory items. The items purchased first cost $29, and the item purchased second cost $30. And Blake sold one of these items for $54. I say Blake, that should really be ABC Company. So what will be the ending inventory under two methods, weighted average and under FIFO? So let's see if we can do this. So if the first one you purchased was $29 and the second one you purchased was $30, under weighted average, you take the two, add them together, get $59, divide by 2, and you get the weighted average cost of the items under weighted average. It'd be $29.50. That's the weighted average cost method. Now, let's take a look at what FIFO would be. Okay, FIFO, let me go back and repeat that. So if you bought these two items, one for $29 and one for $30, if you wanted to find the weighted average cost of the one that's going to be in your ending inventory, that's what we're looking for, ending inventory, then you would just, first of all, you take the weighted average of both of these things, the first one plus the second one, add them together, divide by 2, and not only would the weighted average cost of the ending inventory be $29.50, but the item that you sold, the cost of goods sold, would also be $29.50. Okay, so let's go to FIFO. They want to know the ending inventory under FIFO. Well, before we even go into all that, if this is the first item we purchased, $29, then that's the one we sold under FIFO. And if that's the second item that we purchased, which is $30, then the second item is the one we still have left in the ending inventory. So that $30 will be the cost of our ending inventory. So let's go ahead and do that here. So you have an item you purchased for $29. A second item you purchased, the cost of it was $30. And if you use FIFO as your costing method, that is the first thing in was the first thing out. That's the first thing in right there. And it was also the first thing out, the $29. So it's sold. That $29 item is sold. So what you have left is your ending inventory of $30. So the ending inventory, again, is under FIFO is $30. Any questions about that one before we go to the next one? All right, let's take a look at the next one, 3A. By the way, you should have, if you bought notebooks, you can take your little notebook out and go over this if you want to as I'm going through it here on the screen. So we've got ABC Company uses the perpetual inventory method. ABC purchases 600 units of inventory that cost $7 each. At a later date, the company purchased another 750 units at a cost of $9 each. And if the ABC Company uses FIFO, first in, first out, and sells 950 units, then the cost of goods sold will be how much? Okay, so they purchased 600 units at $7. They purchased 750 units at $9. And if they sold, looks like they sold 950 units, then, and they used FIFO as their costing method, how many of these 600 units did we sell?
All of them.
We sold all of them, right? We sold all of these. Now we're going to sell a total of 950. So we sold all 600 of these. And how many of these 750 units that we purchased, how many of these did we sell?
350.
350. So we sold all these 600 units, all these were sold, and we sold 350 of these that cost $9. So that's the answer. So let's now look at the numbers, specific numbers. So there's 1,350 units available. We sold 950 units, which would be, like I said, all 600 of these and 350 of these, which means we have 400 units left, and there are 400 units left at $9 a piece. So there's what we sold, all 600 of those at $7. We sold 350 of those at $9. So the cost of goods sold is $7,350. They didn't ask for this, but it's really important for you when you do these questions, on this test. You need to really make sure you focus in on what they're asking. Are they asking for the cost of goods sold? Are they asking for the ending inventory? What are they asking for? because there'll be an answer for each of those. So don't fly through there at 100 miles an hour and say, well, let's see, I want to get the cost of goods sold, or maybe I want to get the, ending inventory. Make sure you know exactly what you're trying to solve for so that you come up with, in this case, it's FIFO cost of goods sold. They don't care about FIFO ending inventory, but they could have asked that, right? They could have asked that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, the next one, 4A. We've got the inventory records for ABC Company reflects the following. Beginning inventory on May the 1st was 1,500 units, and they had a cost of $4.60. Then they purchased some more units. Their first purchase on May the 7th, 1,600 units at $4.80 a piece. Second purchase on May the 17th, 1,800 units at $4.90 a piece. Third purchase, on May the 23rd, 1,400 units at $5 a piece. And then they sold 4,800 units at $6.50. Now, they want to know what the weighted average cost per unit is. The weighted average cost per unit. Well, the weighted average cost per unit is going to be the following. It's going to be 1,500 units at $460 plus, which is $6,900, plus 1,600 units at $480, which is the next batch, and that's going to be a total of $76.80. The next batch, which is 1,800 units at $490, which is going to be a total of $88.20. And then the next batch, which is 1,400 units at $5, which is going to be $7,000. You'll add all these things together because we're getting a weighted average. Add all that together, and you get 6,300 units, and you get $30,400. So add the units and the dollars, and you're going to get what you had available, right? So then you're going to divide the 6,300 units into 30,400. So 6,300 units divided into 30,400 means the weighted average cost per unit, which is what you're looking for, is going to be $4.83. Do not do this. Do not take 460, 480, 490, $5, $6.50, add all that together, divide by 5, and get $5.16. That will be an answer choice available. But that's just the simple average of what those things cost. You don't want that. You want the weighted average, right? Which means multiplying all those things together, you're getting a total dollar value and the total units, and dividing the total dollar value by the total units. So don't forget that on weighted average. Number 5, we've got, they want to, usually I like to read the stem of the problem first to see what I'm looking for, and then I'll go back up and look at the problem here. So they want you to determine the cost of goods sold using LIFO. They don't want weighted average, they don't want FIFO, and they don't want you to get the ending inventory. They want the cost of goods sold under LIFO. So under LIFO, let's see, if we sold 3,900 units, okay, keep up with me here now. If we sold 3,900 units under LIFO, the last thing in is the first thing out the door. The last thing in is the first thing out the door. So how many of these 1,100 units did we sell? Stevie, what do you think? How many of these 1,100 did we sell under LIFO? LIFO says the last thing is the first thing we sell. So that's the last thing that came in, 1,100 units right there on May the 23rd. So how many of these 1,100 units did we sell? If we sold 3,900 units, how many of these 1,100 did we sell?
All of them.
We sold all of them. How about 1,500 units right here, the second next purchase? How many of these did we sell?
All of them.
All of them. So now we've sold 2,600 units, right? So how many of these 1,300 units did we sell? Now we're getting into a little more math here.
1,300?
Let's see, 1,300, so 13, so 3, that's exactly right. So these 3 items, we've sold all of them, right? So if they want to know the cost of goods sold of all of what this 3,900 units that we sold are under LIFO, we've sold all of these, all the May 17th ones, and all the May 7th ones. So what we have left here is 1,200 units at $4. That would be our ending inventory, but we don't want that. That's good to know, but we don't really want it. What we want to know is the cost of goods sold. So under LIFO, cost of goods sold is going to be 1,100 units at 440, right? 440 plus 1,500 units at 430 plus 1,300 units at 420. That's going to give us a total, when you add all that together, you know, and I didn't go through each individual totals of these pieces, but when you trust my math here, all that together comes out to $16,750. Any questions about that before we go on to the next one? So the no's have it. So let's go on to the next one. The next one, they want to know the ending inventory under FIFO. They don't want to know the cost of goods sold. They don't want to know LIFO. They don't want to know weighted average. They want to know FIFO and ending inventory. So if we sold 1,500 units under FIFO, how many of these units on May the 1st did we sell?
All of them.
We sold all of them. How many May 7th units did we sell?
All of them.
We sold all of them. And how many of these May 17th units did we sell?
600.
We sold 600. And so now we kind of got a big picture idea of what's going on here. So we sold all 400 of these, all 500 of these, and all but 100 of these. So they want to know ending inventory under FIFO. Ending inventory under FIFO is going to be 100 of these units at 270 and then 300 units of these at 280. That's going to be the answer. So let's kind of go through the specific numbers now. We had 1,900 units available. When you add all that up, you get 1,900 units. That's the 400, the 500, and the 700. 4, 5, 7, and 300. Yeah, all four of these purchases and beginning inventory, you had total 1,900 units available. If you sell 1,500 of them, that means you've got 400 units left in your ending inventory. And that's going to end up being, the ending inventory is going to be the, let's see here. So we got 300 units at 280, and you've got 100 units at 270, and that will be our ending inventory of $1,110. So, any questions about that before we go on to the next one? Again, it's real important to understand, you know, what they want to know and what method you're using. That's all I've got.